Hey guys, it's Ken from Rogers Riggs. We've recently put out a turkey cooking video where we used an oilless fryer to cook our turkey, and it was literally just this 15-second short that went on YouTube. But the video itself, we've gotten over 7,000 views in the first 2 hours. So it took off, and we had a lot of requests for people wanting to know how we were doing this and what we were doing and if there was going to be a full-length video for this. So we decided to do one. It was kind of short notice, and so we went to the store and we found a turkey. Believe it or not, that is actually a turkey, not a chicken. It's only 7 pounds, but it's what we could find right now. But we're going to just talk about real quick the how we're going to prep this turkey. So I've had this in the refrigerator for a couple days, thawing out, to make sure that we get it closer to a temperature where we can start doing things like brining. How I like to do it is I do it in a food safe 5-gallon pail, and I always have a lid for it. Right now the temperature outside, we got a bunch of snow, and we are looking at somewhere in the 30s is our normal daily temperature. So what we're going to do is put this in the brine right in the bucket, make sure it stays cover it up, and we're actually going to put it outside. Alright, so real quick on brining, pretty much what most people do for a brine, a very simple brine, is going to be your salt and your sugar. And you can add other flavors to this. You don't need to go crazy with them. Just make sure you're adding flavors you're going to enjoy. So you don't have to do all of your flavors now. Real simple, salt, sugar. This last one I ended up using actually a few of these clementines here. These little boogers. If you cut them in half, give them a good squeeze, throw them in. I know I used 3 of them last time when I did it. I used some whole peppercorns that I put in there along with my salt and my sugar. There, you can add herbs, things like that. We have a few people in our house that don't really enjoy the stronger herb flavor, so I'm going to make it herb butter later to put on this. But basically, we're just going to put all those ingredients in here. You need about 1 gallon of water, about a cup of sugar, and a cup of salt. I tend to go about 1 1/3 cups on the sugar. It seems to balance it a little bit better, at least with more of what we prefer. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I always start with about half my water, and that way I can go ahead and start things getting stirred up, make sure I get everything incorporated and dissolved, and then I can add the rest of my water at that point. We do also want to make sure that we cool down this brine, so we're going to end up adding some ice to this as well before we add in our turkey. Okay, so I've got some of the things together here to do the brine. We're going to start off with our peppercorns. I'm going to grab about half a handful and put them in there. I'll take a couple of bay leaves, 2 of those. I'll throw them right in. We're going to add in 2 of these clementines. We're just going to slice them both in half, and pretty much we're just going to give them a little squeeze. Get some of that juice out, give it a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of flavor. Here's a cup, kosher salt, and right here we've got sugar, over ½ cup there. Okay, so we've got that in, and basically you're just stirring this long enough to make sure it's incorporated really well and dissolved. If you're going to add ice, you don't have to add as much water. Okay, as you can see, we've got our ingredients all incorporated together and stirred up. And we're just going to let them sit. By doing this, you can let it sit. You're allowing those flavors to start to steep a little bit, and those flavors to come out. So if you don't. Okay, guys, so we've got all done with our brine. It's in our bucket right here. We're going to add just a little bit more ice, anyways, even though it's already cooled down, just in case for some reason it's a little bit warmer than I thought, just to play it on the safe side. So we're going to take our turkey breast here, and we're just going to settle it right down our bucket, and we're going to make sure that it's covered. Those oranges and things, or not oranges, but clementines, I try to put a couple of them inside it. And that's it. We're going to put our cover on. We're going to set it out overnight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the cook. So here we are inside. We've allowed our turkey here to brine for 24 hours. Sometimes I let it go a little longer, and actually this is a turkey breast. not a full turkey, so it's okay that we're a little shorter on it. We have our Char Broil Big Easy right here. I just want to show you how simple this thing is. So it comes with a hook for your lid you got here, and then to the side, really quick, you got your gasket. It goes inside the liner. So we're gonna put a turkey in that at some point here. But really quick, how to hook this thing up. Pretty much just hook to your propane tank, just like so. Tank on, and then right over here, you got your on, your off, you got to turn it on, get your igniter, and literally it was just one turn on the igniter, and it's already lit. So you're just going to take your turkey breast, or your turkey, depending on what it is that you're using. So we're just going to take this, put it right down in, like so, and I'm just going to put it right back in my cooker. As I said before, at the cooker, some people say to leave this off, get too much browning. I've never had that problem. We're also pretty cold today. We're about 40 degrees. So I'm going to put this on to help keep the heat in a little bit. Don't really know how much it's actually going to do to keep the heat in, but we're going to do it that way. I'll show you in a second here. Okay, so we've got our lid here. It's not hot yet, but we just got our turkey breast sitting right there. And she's going to start cooking. We're going to give it probably, it says 15 minutes per pound roughly, or 10 to 15 minutes per pound. So I'm going to say an hour and a half to 2 hours for this. We're about an hour in. We're just going to take a look at things real quick off that lid. And we're running a little, we still got a ways to go. We've got a much colder day than the last time we made a turkey and or turkey breast. As you can see, kind of got some slow going. So I would suggest, if you're planning on doing anything outside with the temperature being cold the way it is and any kind of wind, to put a windbreak on the wider side of things. So we're going to put this back on again, and we're going to leave it right where it is and let it go. And we started our cook out here today. Let's see, we started now, we're now 3 hours in, almost, pretty close. It's a lot longer today, but again, our temperature is way down. So we're gonna give it a quick check. The skin is looking good so far. And surprisingly enough, guys, at 3 hours in, we are at 160 degrees. So our turkey breast, it's cooked almost where we want it. I'm actually going to let this carry over a little longer. So we're going to see if we can help this thing along. So it's just a spray olive oil basically. We're going to see if we can't help this thing brown. Being I've had such good luck browning this turkey. And it's not completely pale or anything. It's just not crispy. But I'm going to say that our issue has been the temperature. And see if I can't get our skin to crisp up. If you had this same problem with your cook, leave a comment below and tell me what you did. On a way to correct our problem, if I'd caught it earlier, we probably would have better browning at this point, being with the colder temperature. But we're going to pull this because we don't want this to get any further cooked and overdone. At this point, we've already gone past up to 170 for our cook, which is okay. But next time we're going to do a couple things. We'll get ourselves a little bit better windscreen and a light coating of olive oil on the outside about halfway through, and that way we don't have to worry about it browning if we know we're going to be in cold weather. So I would say about 50 degrees or under if you're going to be cooking and you still want that crispy brown skin. Go ahead and hit it with some olive oil spray. Okay guys, so we've got the turkey breast here, and we're just going to put it up on our cutting board and we're going to give it a cut real quick. It's cooled off. We've given it like an hour. So we're going to try to do this kind of one-handed while I'm pulling this camera here. I'm just going to take a chunk of it off just so you guys can see where we're at. Now, I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm gonna give that a squeeze. And we have a lot of juice coming out of that. I'm gonna pull that piece off here. Absolutely delicious. Oh my goodness. That is amazing. So this particular one, we're going to actually take it and we're going to put it in the freezer. We're going to slice this up for sandwiches. So this is going to be another test run, but look at the juice. I don't know if you can see this. I hope you can, but look at that. That's just, look at it, squeezing it a little bit and it's pouring right out of it. So this one. Alright guys, I was in such a hurry the other day. We're now 3 days past doing that turkey, but we're slicing it today. I actually bought a new slicing knife. I've been using the same one for about the last 15 years. So I purchased this one. It is a 12-inch slicer from Titan Forge. And it says it's their Pro Series, which I don't know if that means anything. A lot of people just put things on things and it doesn't necessarily mean a thing. The size is good. It's not overly big because it's a 12-inch versus like say a 14 or 15-inch. And we're just going to give it a nice smooth pull. And we're getting some really good thin slices. And something like this, the fewer times you pull it back and forth, the better it's going to be. So you really just kind of use the whole length of the blade and go through this. And as you can see, this thing is slicing very nicely. I get some nice thin slices on here. I can actually go even a lot thinner than that if I really want to. Show you that one. It's kind of sort of paper thin on there. I normally go about a 1/4 inch or so, and this thing's just falling apart. But that's the great thing about a slicing knife is you can use the whole length of the blade and it won't necessarily pull it apart. Just kind of give it a little easy things there, and as you can see, it's not sticking at all, but it works out great. Hey guys, thanks for watching. We're all finished up with this one. If you guys have had any luck with that in the colder weather, I still think it's something that we're just going to have to potentially maybe bring the turkey breast in and either brown it in the oven, maybe using a torch, just to get a little bit of that skin to brown a little bit more in the cold weather. So for you northern guys, let me know what you do. I've heard other guys doing things like taking a blanket, like a flame resistant blanket, and putting that around it. Probably not something I'm going to want to do, but I mean, I don't know, maybe it's something that is made for these things. So thanks for watching, and we're going to do actually a second video. I went through and found a whole bunch of information on this particular fryer, and I'm going to put a link for that in here as well once we get that done. Alright, thanks again for watching guys, really appreciate it. Have a great day.